From good to great. Achieving health, power and prosperity. As children, we all remember the intense delight we felt while listening to never-tiring fairy tales. We were captivated by the complete satisfaction of all their hopes, and the promise of a happy ever after. However, as we grew older and became more intimately acquainted with the so-called realities of life, our beautiful fairy world became destroyed, and its wonderful inhabitants were relegated to the archives of memory, deemed shadowy and unreal. We thought we were wise and strong in leaving behind the land of childish dreams, but as we become little children in the wondrous world of wisdom, we realize that those dreams were, in fact, realities. The fairy folk, so small and nearly always invisible, yet possessed of an all-conquering and magical power, start again into reality and become memorialized in the soul realm of those who have entered into a knowledge of the power of thought and the laws which govern the inner world of being. To those who have grown in wisdom, the fairies live again as thought people, thought messengers, and thought powers working in harmony with the overruling God. And those who endeavor to harmonize their hearts with the heart of the Supreme God acquire true health, wealth, and happiness. There is no protection to compare with goodness, and by goodness, I do not mean a simple outward conformity to the rules of morality. I mean pure thought, virtuous aspiration, unselfish love, and freedom from arrogant glory. To dwell continually in good thoughts is to throw around oneself a spiritual atmosphere of sweetness and power, which leaves its impress upon all who come in contact with it. So let us embrace the fascination of our childhood dreams and allow the supernatural beings to guide us towards a life of true happiness and fulfillment. As the sun rises and drive away the shadows, so too can positive thoughts overpower the impotent forces of evil. A heart fortified with unwavering faith and unyielding purity radiates a powerful light that repels disease, failure, and disaster. The scientific community is beginning to recognize that mental states play a significant role in determining physical conditions. The outdated belief that a man is defined by his body is fading away, replaced by the empowering notion that a man is superior to his body and can shape it with the power of his thoughts. Gone are the days when people believed that a man's bad temper was the root of his despair. We now understand that despair is the cause of his bad temper. In the near future, it will be common knowledge that all disease originates in the mind. Every evil in the universe has its root and origin in the mind. Sin, sickness, sorrow, and affliction do not belong to the natural order of things but are the direct result of our ignorance of the right relations of things. Let us embrace the bold truth that we are not victims of circumstance, but rather, we are masters of our own future. With a heart full of faith and purity, we can conquer any obstacle and achieve health, success, and power. Let us reject the notion that we are defined by our bodies and instead, embrace the idea that we can shape our bodies with the power of our thoughts. The future is bright for those who believe in the power of positive thinking. It is time to wake up and realize that sickness is not some arbitrary punishment from a higher power, nor is it a test of our faith. No, my friends, sickness is the result of our own errors and sins. The sooner we acknowledge this truth, the sooner we can take control of our health and start living our lives to the fullest. Disease is attracted to those whose minds and bodies are receptive to it. It flees from those who radiate positivity and generate healing energy. If you are constantly angry, worried, jealous, or greedy, you are sowing the seeds of disease in your mind. If you want to be free from physical pain and enjoy perfect harmony, you must put your mind in order and harmonize your thoughts. Think joyful thoughts, think loving thoughts, and let the infusion of goodwill course through your veins. Put away your jealousies, suspicions, worries, hatreds, and selfish indulgences. By doing so, you will put away your pain, irritability, nervousness, and aching joints. But if you persist in clinging to these debilitating and demoralizing habits of mind, do not complain when your body is laid low with sickness. It is time to take control of your health and start living the life you deserve. The power is in your hands. Many individuals complain of breaking down due to overwork, but in reality, the majority of these cases stem from foolishly wasted energy. If you desire to maintain good health, it is crucial to learn how to work without friction. Becoming anxious, excited, or worrying over trivial details will only invite a breakdown. Whether it be physical or mental labor, work is beneficial and health-giving. The individual who can work with a steady and calm persistency, free from all anxiety and worry, and with their mind solely focused on the task at hand, will not only accomplish more than the hurried and anxious individual, but they will also retain their health, a benefit that the latter quickly forfeits. True health and success are intertwined in the thought realm. Mental harmony produces bodily health and leads to a harmonious sequence in the actual working out of one's plans. By ordering your thoughts, you can order your life. Pouring the oil of tranquility upon the turbulent waters of passions and prejudices, and the tempests of misfortune, no matter how threatening, will be powerless to wreck the receptacle of your soul as it navigates the ocean of life. If that receptacle is piloted by a cheerful and never-failing faith, its course will be doubly sure, and many perils will pass it by which would otherwise attack it. By the power of faith, every enduring work is accomplished. Faith in the Supreme, faith in the overruling law of cause and effect, faith in your work, and in your power to accomplish that work. Here is the rock upon which you must build if you would achieve, if you would stand and not fall. It is essential to work with a steady and calm persistency, free from anxiety and worry, to maintain good health. Mental harmony produces bodily health and leads to success in the actual working out of one's plans. Pouring the oil of tranquility upon the turbulent waters of passions and prejudices will ensure that the tempest. It is important to remember that success is not achieved overnight. It takes time, effort, and dedication to accomplish one's goals. It is also crucial to have faith in oneself and one's abilities. Doubt and fear can be major obstacles in the path to success. By maintaining a positive attitude and a strong work ethic, one can overcome any challenges that may arise. Remember, the journey to success is not always easy, but it is always worth it in the end. To live a life of faith is to follow the highest promptings within you, to be true to your divine self, and to rely on the inward light and voice. It is to pursue your purpose with a fearless and restful heart, knowing that the future will reward every thought and effort. This unwavering faith is the entrance to happiness, success, peace, and power. It is the foundation upon which you can build a life that transcends material luxuries and riches, for it is the rock of the eternal. With such a faith, you can conquer any obstacle, no matter how frightening. The dark waters of uncertainty will part before you, and every mountain of difficulty will crumble away. You will pass through life unharmed, for you are centered in a faith that can never fail. This faith is the key to a spiritual strength that will destroy all the forces of evil that are hurled against you. Hold fast to this faith, and you will achieve a success that the mere striver after worldly gain can never know. You will possess a power that can move mountains and command the very elements. For truly, if you have faith and don't doubt, you can do anything you ask for in prayer. So let your faith be your guide, your rock of refuge, and your source of strength. Let it be the foundation upon which you build a life that is great and superior to suffering. For with such a faith, you can achieve anything and everything, and nothing will be impossible for you. In today's world, there are those who have discovered the power of faith and live by it every single day. These individuals have put their faith to the ultimate test and have emerged victorious, basking in its glory and peace. They have commanded the mountains of sorrow, disappointment, mental exhaustion, and physical pain to be cast into the sea of oblivion, and it has been done. If you too wish to possess this faith, you need not worry about success or failure. Success will come to you effortlessly, and you will work joyfully and peacefully, knowing that your right thoughts and efforts will inevitably lead to the right results. Simple wishing brings nothing but disappointment, but living with faith is what truly counts. The foolish wish and grumble, while the wise work and wait. This faith must be worked on both externally and internally, but most importantly, within your heart and soul. With the invisible hands of the Spirit, you must build a fair temple of light using precious stones of faith, hope, joy, devotion, and love. Its glorifying radiance will beam from your eyes, shine through your countenance, and vibrate in your voice. Everyone who comes into your presence will feel its captivating spell. Your success, failure, influence, and entire life are all determined by your dominant thoughts. You are the unconditional maker of your fate, and every moment you are sending forth the influences that will make or break your life. Therefore, send forth loving, stainless, and happy thoughts, and blessings will fall into your hands. Your table will be spread with the cloth of peace. But if you send forth hateful, impure, and unhappy thoughts, curses will rain down upon you, and fear and unrest will wait upon your pillow. So, take charge of your life and become the master of your future. With faith, you can conquer all obstacles and achieve greatness beyond your wildest dreams. Unlock the power within you by cultivating a pure and unselfish spirit. Let your heart grow large and loving, and your influence and success will be great and lasting, regardless of your income. But if you confine yourself to narrow self-interest, even becoming a millionaire will leave you with insignificant influence and success. Combine purity and faith with singleness of purpose, and you will evolve the elements of abounding health, enduring success, greatness, and power. If you find your current position distasteful and your heart is not in your work, perform your duties with scrupulous diligence. Keep an active mental outlook for budding possibilities, so that when the critical moment arrives, you will step into the new channel with intelligence and foresight born of mental discipline. Concentrate your whole mind and energy on your task, no matter how small. The faultless completion of small tasks leads inevitably to larger tasks. Rise by steady climbing, and you will never fall. This is the secret of true power. Learn to conserve your resources and concentrate them at any moment upon a given point. The foolish waste their mental and spiritual energy in nonsense, foolish chatter, or selfish argument, not to mention wasteful physical excesses. Don't be foolish. Be bold. Unlock your true power. To acquire true overcoming power, one must cultivate poise and passivity. The ability to stand alone is crucial, as all power is associated with immovability. Think of the mountain, the massive rock, and the storm-tried oak. Their solitary grandeur and defiant fixity speak volumes about their power. On the other hand, the shifting sand, the yielding twig, and the waving reed are weak and utterly useless when detached from their fellows. The man of power is the one who remains calm and unmoved when all his fellows are swayed by emotion or passion. Only those who have succeeded in commanding and controlling themselves are fit to command and control others. The hysterical, the fearful, the thoughtless, and the frivolous must seek company, or they will fall for lack of support. But the calm, the fearless, the thoughtful, and the brave must seek the solitude of the forest, the desert, and the mountain top. It is in these places that their power will grow, and they will more successfully stem the mental currents and whirlpools that engulf mankind. So, let us be bold in our pursuit of true power. Let us cultivate poise and passivity, and stand alone when necessary. Let us be the ones who remain calm and unmoved in the face of chaos. And let us seek the solitude of nature, where our power will grow and we will become the leaders that the world needs. Passion is not power, it is the abuse of power, the dispersion of power. It is like a furious storm that beats fiercely and wildly upon the embattled rock, while power is like the rock itself, which remains silent and unmoved through it all. But fear not, for if you lack this power, you can acquire it through practice. The beginning of power is also the beginning of wisdom. You must start by overcoming those purposeless trivialities that have held you back for too long. Wild and uncontrolled laughter, slander, idle talk, and joking merely to raise a laugh, these things must be put aside as a waste of valuable energy. St. Paul never showed his wonderful insight into the hidden laws of human progress to greater advantage than when he warned the Ephesians against dirty stories, foul talk, and coarse jokes. These are not for you. Instead, remind each other of God's goodness and be thankful. To dwell habitually in such practices is to destroy all spiritual power and life. As you succeed in rendering yourself resistant to such mental indignities, you will begin to understand what true power is. You will then commence to contend with the more powerful desires and appetites that hold your soul in bondage and bar the way to power. Your further progress will then become clear. So, do not let passion consume you. Harness your power and use it wisely. Overcome the trivialities that hold you back and focus on what truly matters. Remember, true power comes from within, and it is up to you to unleash it. Success is not a matter of chance, but of purposeful action. To achieve greatness, one must have a single aim and devote themselves unreservedly to it. Let nothing draw you aside from your legitimate and useful purpose, for the double-minded man is unstable in all his ways. Be eager to learn, but slow to beg. Have a thorough understanding of your work and let it be your own. As you proceed, follow the inward guide, the infallible voice, and you will rise step by step to higher resting places. Your ever-broadening outlook will gradually reveal to you the essential beauty and purpose of life. Self-purified, health will be yours. Faith-protected, success will be yours. Self-governed, power will be yours. All that you do will prosper, for you will be in harmony with the great law, working with the universal life, the eternal God. And what health you gained will remain with you. What success you achieve will be beyond all human computation and will never pass away. What influence and power you wield will continue to increase throughout the ages, for it will be a part of that unchangeable principle which supports the universe. So, be bold in your pursuit of greatness. Let nothing hold you back from your purposeful action. With a single aim and unreserved devotion, you will achieve victory after victory and rise to new heights. Your success will be beyond measure, and your influence will be felt for generations to come. Embrace the power within you and let it guide you to greatness. The key to achieving optimal health and wellness lies in cultivating a pure heart and a well-ordered mind. Similarly, the secret to success is rooted in an unwavering faith and a purposeful direction. But the true source of power lies in the ability to control our desires with an unyielding will. As we stand at the crossroads of life, we are faced with countless paths to choose from. Some are bright and promising, while others are shrouded in darkness. Some lead to life, while others lead to death. Some are wide and easy, while others are narrow and treacherous. Some are good, while others are bad. But with each step we take, we are empowered to discover the truth about each path. We are free to explore and learn, to discern what is right and what is wrong. The power to choose our own future is ours, and we must use it wisely. So let's boldly step forward, with confidence and purpose, knowing that all the knowledge and understanding we seek is waiting for us to discover. Let us embrace the challenges and opportunities that lie ahead, and let's never forget that the true secret to a fulfilling life is found in the journey itself. The thirst for happiness is insatiable, yet so many lack it. The poor yearn for riches, believing that wealth will bring them ultimate and lasting happiness. Meanwhile, the rich, having indulged in every whim and desire, suffer from boredom and excess, further from happiness than the destitute. But let us reflect on this state of affairs and realize that happiness cannot be derived from mere possessions, nor can misery be attributed to their absence. If this were true, the poor would always be miserable and the rich always happy, yet this is often not the case. Some of the most miserable people I have encountered were surrounded by luxury, while some of the happiest were content with the bare necessities of life. Many who have amassed great wealth have admitted that the selfish pursuit of riches has robbed their lives of sweetness, and that they were never happier than when they were poor. So what is happiness, and how can it be attained? For most, the belief that happiness can only be achieved through the gratification of desires is deeply ingrained, perpetuated by selfish cravings and ignorance. This belief is the root of all the misery in the world, not just the grosser animal cravings, but also the more subtle and insidious desires that plague the intellectual and refined. To truly understand happiness, we must enter the way of wisdom and recognize that it cannot be found in the fulfillment of desires. Only by freeing ourselves from the tyranny of craving can we experience the beauty, harmony, and purity of soul that is true happiness. Many individuals are quick to point fingers and blame others for the unhappiness in the world. However, the truth is that selfishness is the root cause of all suffering. It is time to break free from the soul-destroying delusion that it is someone else's selfishness causing our misery. We must take responsibility for our own actions and admit that our own selfishness is the source of our unhappiness. True happiness is an inward state of perfect satisfaction, where joy and peace reign supreme, and all desire is eliminated. The fleeting satisfaction that comes from gratified desire is nothing but an illusion, and it only leads to an insatiable craving for more. Desire is like the ocean, always clamoring for more, and it will never be satisfied. It is the region of hell, and all torments are centered there. On the other hand, the giving up of desire is the realization of heaven, where all delights await the pilgrim. Heaven and hell are inward states, and it is up to us to choose which one we want to reside in. Sink into self and all its gratifications, and you sink into hell. Rise above self and enter a state of consciousness that is the utter denial and forgetfulness of self, and you enter heaven. Self is blind, without judgment, and not possessed of true knowledge. It always leads to suffering. Only in the divine state can we achieve correct perception, unbiased judgment, and true knowledge. It is only by realizing this divine consciousness that we can experience true happiness. So, let us break free from the chains of selfishness and enter the gates of paradise. Let us rise above self and enter the realm of heaven. Let us embrace the divine consciousness and experience the true joy and peace that come with it. As long as you persist in selfishly seeking your own personal happiness, you will be sowing the seeds of wretchedness. Happiness will elude you, and you will never reap a harvest of bliss. However, if you succeed in losing yourself in the service of others, happiness will come to you in abundance. It is in loving, not in being loved, that the heart is truly blessed. It is in giving, not in seeking gifts, that we find our quest. Whatever your longing or need may be, give to others, and your soul will be fed. Clinging to self will only lead to sorrow, but relinquishing self will bring you peace. Seeking selfishly is not only a surefire way to lose happiness, but it also leads to the loss of the very thing we believe will bring us happiness. Look at the glutton, always searching for a new delicacy to satisfy their deadened appetite. They become bloated, burdened, and diseased, and eventually, even the most delicious food brings them no pleasure. On the other hand, those who have mastered their appetite and do not seek self-indulgent pleasure find delight in the simplest of meals. The happiness that we believe we see in gratified desire is always a mirage, a skeleton of misery. Truly, those who seek their life will lose it, and those who lose their life will find it. Abiding happiness will come to you when you are willing to give up that which is impermanent and dear to you. When you are willing to lose it unreservedly, you will find that what seemed like a painful loss is actually a supreme gain. To give up in order to gain is the way of life. It is not a delusion or a source of misery, but a path to true happiness. So, be bold and willing to yield up and suffer loss, and you will find the ultimate reward. How can we truly find happiness when we center ourselves in things that are bound to pass away? The answer lies in focusing on what is permanent. Rise above the desire for impermanent things and enter into a consciousness of the eternal. By growing in purity, self-sacrifice, and universal love, you will become centered in that consciousness and experience a happiness that cannot be taken away. The heart that forgets itself in love for others not only attains the highest happiness but also enters into immortality by realizing the divine. Reflect on your life and you will find that the moments of supreme happiness were those in which you showed compassion or self-denying love. Spiritually, happiness and harmony are synonymous. Harmony is a phase of the great law whose spiritual expression is love. Selfishness is discord, and being selfish means being out of harmony with the divine order. By embracing all-encompassing love, which is the denial of self, we put ourselves in harmony with the universal song, and that ineffable melody which is true happiness becomes our own. People are frantically searching for happiness, but they fail to realize that it is already within them and all around them, filling the universe. Their selfish searching is only shutting them out from it. So rise above the impermanent and embrace the permanent, and you will find the happiness that is already yours. Sacrifice the personal and transient, and you will rise at once into the impersonal and permanent. Shed that narrow, cramped self that seeks to render all things subordinate to its own petty interests, and you will enter into the company of angels, into the very heart and essence of universal love. Forget yourself entirely in the sorrows of others and in ministering to them, and divine happiness will emancipate you from all sorrow and suffering. I, too, have taken the first step with a good thought, the second with a good word, and the third with a good deed, and I have entered paradise. And you can enter into paradise by pursuing the same course. It is not beyond, it is here. It is realized only by the unselfish. It is known in its fullness only to the pure in heart. If you have not yet realized this unbounded happiness, you can begin to actualize it by ever holding before you the lofty ideal of unselfish love and aspiring towards it. Aspiration or prayer is desire turned upward. It is the soul turning towards its divine source, where alone permanent satisfaction can be found. By aspiration, the destructive forces of desire are transmuted into divine and all-preserving energy. To aspire is to make an effort to shake off the shackles of desire. It is the prodigal made wise by loneliness and suffering, returning to his Father's mansion. As you rise above the sordid self and break, one after another, the shackles that bind you, you will realize the joy of giving, as distinguished from the misery of grasping. Giving of your substance, giving of your intellect, giving of the love and light that is growing within you. You will then understand that it is indeed more blessed to give than to receive. But the giving must be of the heart without any taint of self, without desire for reward. The gift of pure love is always attended with bliss. Immerse yourself in the well-being of others, forget your own needs in all that you do. This is the key to abundant happiness. Always be vigilant against selfishness and faithfully learn the divine lessons of inward sacrifice. By doing so, you will ascend to the highest heights of happiness and remain in the never-clouded sunshine of universal joy, adorned in the shining garment of immortality. Are you searching for happiness that endures? Are you seeking joy that lives on and leaves no room for sorrow? Are you thirsting for the stream of love, life, and peace? Then cast aside all dark desires and selfish pursuits. Are you lingering in the paths of pain, haunted by grief and struck by sorrow? Are you wandering in ways that only worsen your weariness? Are you yearning for a resting place where tears and sorrows cease? Then sacrifice your selfish heart and find the heart of peace. Boldly embrace the selflessness that leads to true happiness and lasting joy. Let go of all that holds you back and discover the path to eternal contentment. True prosperity is not granted to those who are greedy, but to those whose hearts are filled with integrity, trust, generosity, and love. It is an inward realization, not an outward possession. The man who is consumed by greed may become a millionaire, but he will always be wretched, mean, and poor. He will even consider himself poor as long as there is someone richer than him. On the other hand, the upright, open-handed, and loving will experience a full and rich prosperity, even if their outward possessions are small. One is poor when they are dissatisfied, but rich when they are content with what they have. The truly rich are those who are generous with what they have. The universe is abundant in all good things, both material and spiritual. However, man's blind eagerness to secure a few gold coins or a few acres of dirt shows how dark and ignorant selfishness is. Self-seeking is self-destruction. Nature gives all without reservation and loses nothing. Mankind, on the other hand, loses everything by grasping all. To realize true prosperity, do not settle into the belief that doing right will lead to everything going wrong. Do not let the word competition shake your faith in the supremacy of righteousness. The laws of competition may be spoken of, but the unchangeable law will one day put them all to defeat. It puts them to defeat even now in the heart and life of the righteous person. Knowing this law, one can observe all dishonesty with undisturbed repose. For they know where certain destruction awaits it. So, let us be bold in our pursuit of true prosperity, filled with integrity, trust, generosity, and love. Let us not be consumed by greed, but instead, be content with what we have and be generous with it. Let us trust in the unchangeable law and have faith in the supremacy of righteousness. Always do what you believe to be right, no matter the circumstances. Trust in the law and the divine power that permeates the universe, and you will never be abandoned. Your losses will transform into gains, and any curses that threaten you will turn into blessings. Integrity, generosity, and love, coupled with energy, will elevate you to a truly prosperous state. Do not be deceived by the world's message that you must prioritize yourself above all others. This selfish mindset will only lead to loneliness and despair. Instead, let your soul expand and your heart overflow with love and generosity towards others. This will bring you great and lasting joy, and prosperity will naturally follow. Those who stray from the path of righteousness must guard themselves against competition, but those who always pursue what is right need not worry about such defense. This is not an empty claim. There are individuals today who, through the power of integrity and faith, have defied all competition. They have risen steadily into prosperity while those who tried to undermine them have fallen back defeated. To possess the inward qualities of goodness is to be armored against all the powers of evil. It is to be doubly protected in every time of trial. Building oneself up in these qualities is to build up a success that cannot be shaken and to enter into a prosperity that will endure forever. So, trust in the law and the divine power, and always do what is right. This is the path to true prosperity and lasting success. Remember, in all things I have shown you that by working hard in this way we must help the weak, and remember the words of the Lord Jesus, how he himself said, "It is more blessed to give than to receive." Acts 20:35. Peace. Make each day a blessing for yourself and those around you, in Jesus' name.